All right. Well, good morning. I hope you guys had a wonderful weekend. My name is Teresa Yoder, and I'm a Gold Ambassador with Plexus. And I'm so excited to have you guys with us this morning because just recently I have really had a heart for these millennials, or the Generation Y. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that this morning, and maybe give you guys some tips and some things that I'm learning. You know, I really want to reach a lot more of the millennials out there because I have millennial married children and non-married. So, and this is such a great opportunity for them. And, you know, if you were born between 1980 and 2000, you're a millennial. You are in that millennial generation, whether you might not realize that, maybe you do. But the exciting thing is this is such a great business opportunity. Network marketing is for you guys. But for the rest of us, you know, the baby boomers and the Generation X, we have had to have a total mind shift. And it's been a challenge, but it's been a good challenge. But at the same time, I think a lot of us miss this amazing market of young folks because we don't reach out to them like we should. So if you're a millennial, this probably isn't going to apply to you, but you might learn something about yourself that you didn't realize. But this is definitely for us older, the generation behind the Generation Y, or the millennials. And there are some really important things to learn. So first of all, I just want to say, if you have not ever subscribed to this Networking Times, I really encourage you to do it. It's a bi-monthly publication. It's where I'm going to be sharing some tips out of. I love this little magazine because, one, it helps build belief in the industry. So if you're brand new, it's going to help just build the belief in the industry. And if you've already been in network marketing for a while, it's just going to even further cement why you're doing this. And for those of you who are millennials, this is available on just online. I'm a book. I like holding it in my hands. So, but I get both versions, the online version and the magazine. So one thing that Carrie Dickey said in one of her talks is, bait the hook to suit the fish. And meaning, you know, out with the old and in with the new. And, you know, when I think of network marketing, I do think of slide presentations. I think of, you know, getting people to physically getting them to an event, you know, because that's my generation. That's how we think. But in today's world, because we have technology at our hands and we have social media platforms, we really need to be using those to build our business, because it's a lot more, people are doing that a lot more. It's a lot more convenient, and they're more apt to jump on a Zoom or a Google Hangout than get in their car and go somewhere. The old way of network marketing involved hotel meetings with boring slideshows or home parties that only a couple of people attended. This works if you are targeting the baby boomer generation, whose values are tradition and security. And that is where I've had to have a mind shift. I've really, I've had to change my thinking on that, because that's just how I grew up thinking. And probably if you're in my generation or older, that's how you were thinking, or how you were raised to think about it. But the Generation Y, a lot of times they think of the presentations that they're too long, filled with too much information, and always have too much hype. To attract the millennials, you have to think like a millennial. And I really appreciated that, because, you know, we put a lot of time into slide presentations. I mean, that's not my gift. And so when I put one together, it takes me a long time. And so to have all this information and to know, like, I'm not even reaching my audience that I'm targeting, well, I don't want to do that. I don't want to bore them to death. I want to know that it's, you know, informative and it's fun, and not to overhype it, you know, just to be real. So those are some things that I've had to change, and how I present. Now, like I said, a baby or a Generation Y, which is a millennial, is born between 1980 and 2000. So all of my 5 children were born in that time frame, except for one. One was in 2001, but I'm pretty sure he qualifies as a millennial. But they are one of the largest demographic cohorts since the baby boomers. They are 80 million strong. So there's a huge market out there that we don't want to miss. They do not buy into the baby boomers' philosophy of go to college, get a job, and work for 40 years and retire. And this is another thing I want to point out real quick that I meant to say at the beginning. This issue of Networking Times is solely focusing on the millennials. So they have asked millennials. So the tips that we're getting from today are from millennials, and they are in the midst of that. What's going on. So this is why we want to pay attention. This is why we want to listen to what they're saying. So there are millennials who are going to college, but they already know, this is not what I want to do long term. I'm just going. I'm going to, get my degree. I may work in this job for 4 or 5 years, but I'm looking for opportunity. That's how most of them are thinking. They're thinking, I want different streams of income coming in. Millennials are highly tech savvy and embrace new social platforms. Yay for that, because if you get some millennials on your team, they're going to help you figure out social media. I'm telling you. I mean, it's been a lot of fun. My latest craze has been Snapchat, until it drained all my battery, and now I'm kind of like done with that. But it is great. And if you watch a millennial, just observe someone young that you see that's being successful. Amber is one. Amber Miller, for those of you who don't know. And find some other young, successful people on social media. I have picked several different people that are a millennial group. And I just look at their feed. I look at their feed, I look at their Snapchat, and I look and observe, like, how are they doing it? What draws so many people to them? And it's really interesting. You can learn a lot about how they are using the social media for their businesses. So that's something that they embrace. They always jump on the new stuff. Like when Periscope came out, I mean, everybody young was on that. And I'm sure they still are. And when Facebook Live went live, a lot of millennials were using that. They usually have created a strong presence and following on social media. Therefore, that is how they will market. That's very important because, like 3-way calls, we still do them and they're very important, but they're not like they were, years and years ago, where that was really, really, really the core of how you built your network marketing business. Now, it's another tool, but it's not like it is how we use social media today. Millennials are social and vocal about sharing what they love and what they hate on social media. If you're trying to market to millennials, keep it real, leave out the hype, and market on their social media platforms. I think that's really important. And I think that's the beauty of doing a Zoom or a Google Hangout. Like here we are this morning, we're gathered and we're in our homes because we have home businesses. And, but we're real, we're not all in suit and tie, and, it's just a very real setting. And I think that's important. That's what they're looking for. Now, my generation, it was different. You wanted to get dressed up to a T, you wanted to, look the part. And today's world, it's not like that. It's a much more relaxed, and they want to see a real person. That's why the YouTube craze is going on. They want to see real life. So that's something to keep in mind. Millennials are not lazy. They are efficient and have found an app or a platform that makes marketing easier than traditional belly-to-belly interaction. I know I have been guilty of saying, oh, those millennials, I think they're just a lazy bunch. They're an entitled bunch. And that's not true. And I totally didn't understand. I didn't understand millennials. And I'm getting a better understanding. And I realized that you millennials, you have found different apps. You're creating apps to make our lives easier. So that doesn't make you lazy. It makes you smart. It makes you smart, and you're showing us how to do business more effectively and have more time on our hands because we have all these apps and things like that, which I'm learning to use and I'm very thankful for. Most millennials are not brand loyal, so teaching and empowering them to be the brand actually makes them loyal to you and consequently to the company. And I thought that was really great because we've talked about branding ourselves. You know, how are you going to brand yourself in Plexus? And that's important. Every time I hear the word brand, I think of Chris and Susie McCall. If you've been in Plexus long enough, you have heard of them. They have branded themselves as a fun, energetic, just crazy couple of Plexus. And, you know, we all know they're connected to Plexus, but the thing that stands out with them, and they have a lot of followers that aren't even in Plexus, but they're fun. They're fun to be around, but that's how they've branded themselves. What gets millennials excited is doing something that works and knowing they are a part of something so much bigger than themselves. I know Chastity has talked about that. I know I have talked about that. Being connected to something bigger than yourself. That is huge. And I know with most young people, young adults, they do want to have some kind of purpose in life. They don't want to just, you know, most of them do want to belong to something bigger. They want to be connected in. But God created us to want to be a part of something. So I think that that's really something to keep in mind, that they are looking. They're looking. They just might not be just out there, I'm looking for something, but they're watching. Okay, so the thing that makes it great for a millennial in our type of business is that we have a very low startup cost. Okay, so most millennials, they don't have a ton of money. Maybe they did just get out of college and they've got college debt, and they're looking for an opportunity. And network marketing is perfect for them, especially in our business, $34.95 to get started. You know, I mean, that's at the bare minimum. And so they're, you know, it's very doable for them. The thing that they love, and they are the ones to check off all these boxes, is they're looking for these things. A business with low startup costs. It fits around their lifestyle. They enjoy working multiple jobs and having various income streams. They don't subscribe to the 9-to-5 routine, and they love socializing and connecting with people. And I think we see that a lot on social media. You know, of course, I'm a very I like to observe people. I'm definitely one of those people that will sit at the airport and watch people because they are interesting to me. But young people they're very connected, and you know, now they don't technically have maybe 3,000 friends, but the fact that they can round up 3,000 friends on Facebook is always an amazement to me. And then I go through their feed and I want to see, well, what are they doing? What are they posting? How are they posting? And why do they have so much enthusiastic people following them that are excited about what they're doing? So I think that for them, learning from them how to stay connected to people, I think is important for us older folks who are not in their age group. I'm careful when I say older folks because, you know, we're not that much older. We raise these millennials. This generation is a perfect fit for network marketing, but the problem is getting them to realize that. Many of them feel that what we do revolves around hard selling people on the opportunity and pressuring family and friends to buy products. The key for us is to help millennials see how far our profession has come in the past 20 years, and that it is not only one of the most efficient distribution systems, it also allows them to build a global business on their smartphone or tablet. I thought that was really important. You know, network marketing in general, I mean, it just has changed in the last 20 to 30 years. So if they have come in with parents who knew the network marketing in the old way, then yes, they're going to have a very negative view of network marketing. But we want to show them how much it's changed. And it's so perfect for them because they can work it from their phone or their laptop as they're traveling around. They don't have to have inventory. They simply, lead people to their website. And in the meantime, they're connecting with people with social media. It's totally, totally different than when I even did it, 20 years ago. So it really is something that we need to help them see the benefit. And I'm working with a couple of millennials now, and to get that across, it's not what it used to be. And our company is so amazing and awesome that the startup is so minimal. And that right there, for them to see that and get on board with that is huge. Okay, a few more points. How do we help millennials see what we have in a positive light? Once they do, how do we get them motivated and excited about joining us? The answer to these questions starts with being positive and professional at all times. We need to be professional and treat our business with respect. That is so important. And I know you have heard from leaders all over the company, be positive. Your Facebook page is like a blog, and to be real and be positive. And when you're talking to someone just face to face, not to act like there's not troubles in the world or troubles in your life, but be a problem solver and address it in a positive light, because that is going to go a long way with when you're talking to someone, and if they're thinking, wow, she's really kind of negative, I don't know that I want to join her, even if you've got a great opportunity, they may just be like, nah, she's so negative, I don't want to join that. So keep that in mind. Millennials need to realize that rather than compete with thousands of people for a job, all they need to do is create the career they want and generate the income they desire. So being professional in your business, helping them to see that why this would be such a great benefit to them to join our business, and then help them to see that they can create their own career and the income that they want. You might have someone who really doesn't want to make $1 million a year, but they do want enough freedom. They do want to make enough that they can get, pay their bills and have time freedom and be able to just get out there and see the world. I've got a couple like those in my family. They want to make enough that they can go and travel and explore before they start their families. Network marketing is the answer for this generation because it allows them to create a life they want, utilizing the natural skills many of them possess without the problems that plague traditional business models. Using their natural abilities. This morning we just had a discussion about that, about using your natural talents. How can you, put that in your business, work that in your business. And I think that's important. Okay, so one thing this author pointed out too, Joshua Pert, he says, I personally believe in connecting with millennials via technology initially, but our businesses is all about meeting people heart to heart. So technology helps us to get in touch with people like Facebook. You're making new friends, you're getting to know them, you're just connecting with them. But he says we also physically or virtually, if necessary, sit down with people and take the time to listen to their story and help them see the benefits we can offer them. That is so important. And I know I've had to really, really work hard on this part because, you want to not only connect with them through Facebook or, something like that, but maybe get them on a Zoom and one-on-one if you're not local, and just get to know them. Ask them some questions about them, like what are their passions, what are they excited about, and it may not have anything to do with business, and that's okay. Just ask them some questions to get to know them, as if you were at a cocktail party or if you were at a you know, a friend's house for dinner and you just met this person, would you right away talk about plexus, or would you right away ask some questions like, oh, so are you married? Do you have children? You know, you'd ask things like that. So do the same thing with your new prospect, your new millennial prospect. Ask them some questions. What are they looking forward to in the future? Would they, you know, just some things like that. If you can meet with them face to face, that's fantastic. Take them out for coffee and get to know them. It helps put a face to the Facebook face. We were talking about that over this weekend. You know, a lot of times you go back and forth on Facebook, but then, you know, when you actually see them, it's kind of weird because you have never actually met them. So, you know, be sure to connect with them. So those are some tips that I wanted to share. I'm really excited about this new learning venture for me, learning to use social media and be able to talk to more millennials. And like I said, I have a heart for them. One, because in my season of life, I have all of our kids are technically in the millennial age range, but I do have a young married son, and they have a little girl. And this is such a great opportunity for millennials. It's such a great way. They're smart. They know how to use technology to their advantage. And I think we, as their parents and grandparents, sometimes, you know, we can learn a lot from them. And it actually does make our life easier. It's hard in the beginning to learn change. I'll admit that right now. It's, you know, for me to learn how to integrate these social media platforms and use them consistently, it's been a challenge for me. But the thing that I love is that they know these things. And, you know, if you reach out and you're asking them how, you know, can you help me maybe learn more about Pinterest, how to use Pinterest? Can you help me learn more about, you know, using Periscope or Twitter? Any one of those, I'm sure that they would help you learn that platform. But if you're curious and you see someone young on one of these social media platforms and you're wondering, like, how do they end up with so many followers? Go and see how they're posting. Go and see how they're communicating, because that will help you build your business in communicating with the young millennials. So, all right, well, that is all I have. Thank you so much for listening in. I'm excited to hear some feedback from you guys. You know, maybe you are a millennial and you're listening to this. And if you have any tips that would help the rest of us, please comment below and let us know, because we want to know what we can do. And if you're not a millennial, you're maybe a Generation X or a baby boomer, comment below too. You know, what is it that you are learning or that you're seeing, or maybe some frustrations that you've had and you maybe pulled some tips from this. So, all right, well, you guys have a wonderful day and a fabulous rest of the week, and we will see you all next time.